Unfortunately, a lot of data governance programs fail. And there are many reasons why. The silver lining, I guess, is that there are great lessons from these failures that we can learn from and make sure that we will avoid them in our data governance program. So let's see what those 9 keys to data governance success are. If you're new to the LightsOnData channel, please don't forget to subscribe. This channel aims to provide simple, fun, and engaging, as well as thorough explanations, teachings, and advice on important but otherwise boring and dry topics of the data world. Today's topic is about the 9 keys to data governance success. Please watch until the end, as the last 3 are some of the most important keys to data governance success. The first is to ensure that you will treat the data governance as a program. So many times people refer to data governance as a project. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with this is that projects have end dates, and data governance, if you want it to be successful and serve your data well, it needs to be a program. You can't put an end date to it because it needs to be ongoing. That is, if you want to be a data-driven company, if you want to derive information and knowledge out of your data, then data governance can't have an end date to it. It is composed of many different projects. I mean, one of the first ones, for example, would be to establish a data governance framework. Another is to do an as-is assessment. Yet another to determine the to-be state and then the plan on how to get there. But message here is that data governance does not stop. The second key to data governance success is that you need to overcome political challenges. Spoiler alert, if you're new to data governance, there will be political challenges, usually plenty. There will be a lot of people singing, "I want it that way." Data governance usually brings in some changes in order for there to be clarity into what the data means and how it should be acquired, produced, maintained, used, what resources should be dedicated to it, what priorities should be addressed first, and so on. And there will be a lot of opinions on how any of the above should best be done. Of course, some will be conflicting with one another and some will not be in the best interest of the company. And if you don't want a heartache, you need to overcome these political challenges. And that's where good sponsorship, strong executive support, communication, and change management will come to help you out. Third key to data governance success: don't boil the ocean. There are a lot of areas to tackle in a data governance program. It can definitely be overwhelming. When I got my first role in data governance, it really felt like being told, just relax and boil the ocean. And I'm sure that if you're new in that role, you probably feel the same way too. So you need to learn to identify the low-hanging fruit and tackle those first. But at the same time, to keep an eye out on those strategic long-term goals and start chopping at them bit by bit. That's why a data governance maturity model can be a good tool, because it shows you what you should tackle first in order to improve your maturity level. Fourth key: build iteratively. To build on the previous key to data governance success, just build iteratively. I recommend cycles of 3 months duration, at the end of which you are done with a deliverable. Of course, some would require 6 or even 12 months. All in all, it's just good to be consistent and to set the expectation to your stakeholders that after a set number of months, there will be some sort of a deliverable. This deliverable could be an assessment, a scorecard, a set of data governance workflows, a set of data standards or business terms defined, so forth and so on. Just keep building and progressing from one iteration to the other. And again, you can look at a data governance maturity model for some guidance on that. Don't forget to focus on data stewardship and metadata management. To me, data governance can't stand on its own. It's like a tripod that can't stand freely on its one leg. You also need a strong data stewardship program in place, as well as a metadata management program. then everything else, other data management areas, data science, AI, machine learning, and so on, can be built easier on this strong foundation. Let me know if you'd like to learn more about either of these, and I'll be happy to create some content for them. The sixth key to data governance success: measure it. Measure success. Maybe a no-brainer, but this is really happening too many times not to mention to you. People forget to measure the success of data governance, especially in the early stages of the program. I find it's probably because they are keen on getting something off the ground or show some improvement, but then they forget about the show part of the showing some improvement. I mean, it's hard to show improvement if you don't take a baseline measurement. That's your first step. That's what a lot forget to do. So make sure you take a baseline measure and also develop metrics that you can track the progress against. I do cover all of this and much more in my online courses on data governance, by the way. The second aspect to this is to tie these metrics to the company goals. Because it's not enough to just say, oh, we've just added 100 business terms to our business glossary. Or, hey, we've just trained 10 more stewards this month. Or, we've just developed data quality standards for these 2 data domains. Well, bravo, but that's not why we're doing data governance. We're doing data governance to get better insights and hindsights and foresights out of our data, to determine efficiencies, to make our customers happier, and so on. So make sure you are tying these metrics to the organization goals, to the company's goals. All right, we're approaching the last 3 keys to data governance success. Everything was important so far, don't get me wrong. All these are key to data governance success. But I particularly would like to emphasize the importance of these last 3. So number 7 on the list, focus on data domains. A lot of data governance programs don't start at the enterprise level. A lot of them really start at the department level. And that's fine, but if it doesn't go enterprise-wide, it will really be siloed in its implementation. As a result, there will be undesired consequences, such as the inability to achieve a 360 view of the customer, to build a robust AI machine learning program, to reduce data quality errors, to increase data literacy, etc. Other data governance programs can be focused on a particular system, usually a CRM or an ERP. This is also wrong because it's missing important stakeholders that might not be using these systems, but are using or are creating the related data. So the best way would be to focus your data governance on data domains. Data domains such as customer, product, location, so forth and so on. This way, it will ensure that all the relevant departments and systems and their stakeholders are really part of that scope of those conversations as well. Number 8, and here's the key to data governance success, one of the 9. Don't put your data governance under IT. And I love IT, don't get me wrong, but this is another mistake that I see often. The fact that data governance gets slotted under an IT function. Why is that a problem? Well, because then it gets associated with IT. Then there are assumptions being made that IT needs to lead this, that they need to own this, that they need to provide all these answers. And IT, again, is an important partner to have and a key stakeholder in data governance, of course, but the business, it's the business that must be continuously involved in the data governance program. Believe it or not, it would be the business that owns data governance, not IT. Without the business providing that ownership, without the business providing that stewardship, without the business providing their requirements, knowledge, guidance, support, then data governance would most likely fail.
That's great.
And here's the last key to data governance success. Communicate and manage change. Communication is your best friend. I was at a conference a few years ago, and the IDC was mentioning that data governance is 90% communication. Maybe that's a bit much, but still, successful data governance requires a lot of communication. As I mentioned in a previous key to data governance success, it usually brings quite a bit of change, and that also needs to be managed through communication, through stakeholder engagement, training, and so on. Don't underestimate their importance, and that's why I think this is really the most important out of the 9 keys to data governance success. Please click the like button if you agree. Well, this concludes this lesson. Until next week, thank you for watching.